Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk all about the Quantum Abundance 7-Day Challenge, and I'm going to run through kind of what the key importance of it is, what we're doing it for, what it's all about, why it's important to do it, and also what you need to know about it, why we're giving it away for free, and also kind of really most importantly what you're going to get out of it. So just to give you a little bit of context to it. So when we talk about mission-driven entrepreneurs, businesses, conscious leadership, conscious business, sometimes people in the past have kind of confused anybody that's heart-centered, spiritual based or anything like that equals we can't charge money or money's a bad thing, and it's been a bit black and white in terms of capitalist businesses are focused entirely on profitability and maybe not really caring about what they do in the world, whereas conscious businesses come along and said, hang on a minute, we do care about people, we do care about the planet, and we do care about all the things that we're leaving for future generations. However, there is still an intrinsic part of that business that needs to be run as a business. So it's really, really important that the two metrics that I always talk about, impact and income, they actually go hand in hand. So the more impact you want to make out there, you really need that income to match it, because there is things that we have to always pay out for. So whether that's team members, whether that's tech, whether that's new learning new skill sets, expanding what we already offer, whatever that might be, there is always going to be expenses to it. Abundance in and of itself can be a very kind of big word. So abundance, if we look at Mother Earth, we would say Mother Earth is abundant by nature. So she has seasons, yes. There is death within that cycle, yes, but there is always growth. There is always an expansion. There is always a limitless feeling. And when we map that into the quantum field, which is what we'll be diving into in terms of the Quantum Abundance 7-Day Challenge, we start to really understand the laws and principles surrounding that, and that it's your natural birthright by nature to be abundant. Now, abundant will mean different things to different people. Some people want an abundance of freedom, like time freedom. Some people want abundance of financial freedom. Some people want the freedom to be able to express themselves. Some people want the freedom to be able to travel, for all the different reasons. So one of the things that I would really recommend you do before we embark on this challenge is to really think about what abundance means to you and for you. And also I'd highly recommend from a perspective that if you could maybe find somebody else that you could do this challenge with and question them on it, have a little bit of a perspective. We'll dive into perspectives a little bit more in the challenge itself, but I just want to kind of cover off what it is in the first place. So for me personally, the reason why it's important that we embody more abundance in terms of consciousness is because in order to change anything, so that could be your personal current reality, that could be the landscape of the business you're operating in, it could be wanting to set up something on your own, it could be that you want to move, have freedom, have different things that you want to do that maybe you haven't accomplished as of yet, or maybe you're thinking, well, I don't really have the resource for that, I don't really know how to do it, I can't really afford this, or whatever it might be. Anything that's a limitation on the human spirit is not in abundance. It's out of abundance and it's moving into lack. If we have a whole planet that is operating from fear, from lack, from not having enough resources, not having enough opportunities, and we feel that, think it, believe it, do it, act it, all these different things, that is what we will all stay in. So the quantum on a collective measure, it's vitally important for all of us to be continually raising our consciousness and vibration. So just to go in a little bit about what the Quantum Abundance Challenge is all about, the reason why it's structured over 7 days, and I will make one point really clear, you'll see that I've really specifically put emailers at limitless@thequantumdojo.com and put that in the header. I've done that for 2 reasons. One, because this is going to be a secret group. It's not going to be splashed all over Facebook or any social media platform. It's private and it's in secret on purpose. Secondly, it is about you committing to doing it. Because it's given freely, we need you to actually step forward and desire to do it. It's very easy for us to scroll through phones, click on things, and then we don't give it any mind. This needs you to take some action. If it was the olden days, we'd have to write a letter in. I would really like to join your such and such course. That's how it was done. That's actually really nice, and that's quite magical, and we've lost that because now we're all just pressing buttons, which is nice for speed, and we can get connected quicker, and we have access to amazing technology and software. That isn't the issue, but the issue is, what are we physically doing? So the first thing here is we need you to be physically present and have a want and a desire to do this. I've deliberately not said need, because neediness goes into lack, and we're going to cover all of those things inside the challenge. Okay, so what the challenge is going to be, for each of the 7 days you will receive an email with instructions and materials. I'm not going to go into right now specifically what they are, because then it wouldn't be much of a secret and there wouldn't be much of a surprise. However, you will get very clear instructional elements given to you each day that you will need to do during that day. Now, we've said you needed to commit the time to it per day. Some people might be put off and go, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so stressed, I don't have time for anything. So there's 2 things to look at there. Again, want and desire. Do you want and desire some change in your life? Would you like more abundance? If your answer to all those questions is no, I'm happy as I am, in my bubble, in the way things are, then I would recommend you don't join it, because you're not going to do it. If you feel like, actually, I am ready for something else, for another level, to grow my mission, to start my mission, to expand my mission, to even explore what it is that is the next steps for me, and I would like to encompass and embody more abundance and freedom and so on to do these things, then we will need you to, as I say, sign up to it and then receive the information each day and do it. Now, most of it doesn't take much time. It's not, when I say put the effort in, it's not about time as in this is a 14-hour written course. It's not about that. But when I say the time, it's about sitting down, and whether it's reading, watching, listening, doing, whatever it might be, and then actually then having that soak in. Because embodiment is the key thing here. It isn't like if we gave you a book and we said, download this book, read it, and you will get instant abundance. The problem with that is it can be very misleading, because our perceptions of what we're listening to and reading come into us in the way that we see them. But unless we actually physically action it, do it, live it, embody it, and be it, we can't actually deduce if we're going to get an outcome and a result from it, because it's multifaceted. Everything we talk about from a quantum field perspective is multi-dimensional. So it isn't a checklist like tick, 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 tick. Oh, I've done all these things for today. Where's my whatever? It doesn't work like that. It's a very deep, much deeper process. And again, going on to why it's important is my ambition with everything that we do in the Quantum Dojo to help as many people as possible really, really excel. So activate, elevate, and accelerate their missions to not only wherever they think they want to go with it, but also what they don't know. Because there's always that infinite potentiality within the quantum field, and we just don't know. So sometimes we can actually be shutting something down based on our own intellectual understanding of it. So let's say you've got an idea for a business, or you've just started something, and because maybe it's not going so well, or you don't really know what you're doing, or whatever the current issues or challenges or circumstances are right now, your thinking will most likely be closing it down some. And we do that for two reasons. Our body wants to repel pain, fear, doesn't want it. And secondly, our heads are going, don't really know the answer to this. This doesn't feel very safe. So therefore, let's just shut it down. And that shut it down could be a literal, I'm going to close down what I'm doing. I'm going to give it up. I'm not going to continue. It could be a whole heap of things, but it's limited and it's constricting. Whereas within the quantum field, we're actually looking at collapsing timelines, and we're looking at things and going, okay, so what are the myriad of possibilities and potentialities and actually opportunities within those challenges that we can explore and sort of cherry pick from, and then put that energy into it and then bring it closer to us. And they're the things that we're going to be working on. And some of it is going to be an educational piece. And I apologise and don't apologise in advance, in the sense of some of it you might already know. But sometimes the knowing is not the same as living. So I do plenty of this kind of work all the time. And certain times I can be in a space of, I know that. Yeah, I know that. And then I have to check in myself and go, oh, okay, the know-it-all showed up. The know-it-all within me showed up, and it will say to me, okay, so if you know that, are you a living embodiment of it? And if that's a no for me, I'm like, no, then I have to shut up and become the student again and go, okay, so this knowledge is coming back to me for a reason. It's deepening in it and it's embodying it because I'm not fully actualized in it. I might have, it's like going to school and kids being taught things didactically, so they're writing it down, memorizing it, spewing it back out on an exam paper to get a certain grade. That's not wisdom. That's regurgitated facts. Now, they might be useful for some things in life, but overall, that those things that you would have done back at 14, 15, 16, whatever, for most of us, most of it's redundant. Now, I don't want to get into the education system because it's not what this is about, but I'm just trying to sort of just express the differences between embodying something and knowing something. They are different. In terms of what do you need to know, I'm going to say two things beforehand. One, have a real good think about abundance, as we just said, and then also start to think about, okay, within the 7-day challenge, what would you like to focus on? Now, we are going to go into that and there will be steps about that, but I think it does no harm in advance to start pulling that in. And I also want to make something really, really clear. Some of you will create something within those 7 days. Some of you, it might take a little bit longer because it's all going to be dependent on how you answer certain questions. And every eventuality will be good and will be right for you. It just depends what you're wanting to create in that quantum field. So if your abundance, and I'm going to use money because it's an easy one, let's say you had $0 in your bank account and you went, okay, I want to create $100 million business. The likelihood of you being able to do that in 7 days is slim. I try very hard to keep impossibility out of the realms because you just don't know. You really don't know. However, in terms of 30 odd years of experience within this, it tends to be a series of steps and things to happen. And I'm going to be quite frank, the person that's got 0 in the bank account is not the same person who's running a $100 million company or enterprise or whatever. So they're going to have to go through a lot of metamorphosis. So that would be hugely unlikely in 1 week. However, if that person has an end goal of and also there's going to be something altruistic in this, because I say from a conscious perspective, what is it you want to create a $100 million company for? So if it's because you're part of a group and you've got a movement and your whole thing is like, if we can create a $100 million charity cause enterprise or something, and we can have that global and we can help men, women and children around the world with X, Y and Z, that would be more of a conscious business kind of statement. If it was, I just want to get rich, different thing entirely. But if you're here, you're more likely mission driven, you care, and you actually want to put something in, do something constructive and positive. And it doesn't matter what that looks like, because I meet many people that might say like, oh, well, my thing's only small and it's only going to make a little dent and ooh. But actually, remember that for missions aren't judged by their size. And in fact, they're not judged at all, but it's not about the size of the thing. It's about the ripple effect. So again, in the collective, if every single person is doing what they came here to do, that collective, as a ripple effect, will transform and transmute and elevate the earth altogether. So your thing is just as important as anybody else's. And that's why we have the hashtag Your Mission Matters, because it does massively matters. So it's really important for us to help you have these tools so that you can go out and do the thing and maybe be beyond your wildest dreams of what you think is imagining, possible. Okay, why are we doing it? That's for those reasons, because if we can see a planet where we've got thousands of people operating their missions to the highest good that they can, then that's a good thing. It's a good thing for Mother Earth, it's a good thing for our children, it's a good thing for everybody. So it's not within our or anybody's best interest to have everybody down there on a low vibe, crushing the dreams, as in they're not going to even attempt to do it them, and they're stuck and they're challenged and they're this and that and the other. In terms of what you will get out of it, one of the probably most important parts of it, these are tools that you can continue to use, that once you've learned it and you keep redoing it, you are simply going to get better and better and better at it. And we used to have a phrase that I've mentioned before in my previous dojo called the Tao Academy, and it used to be like, every day in every way I'm getting better and better, and that's a part of embodiment. So it's not a case of I do this once and I'm a master. It's I do this once as a perpetual student, and mastery will come over time. Now, we are going to be in the quantum field. We are going to be collapsing and condensing and playing with time and space for sure. However, like anything else, the more it's embodied and the more it's second nature to you, the better at it you will get. So the reason why you want to take us up on this freely given offer is because then you have that. So I hope that explains everything. If you have any questions, please do email us at limitless@thequantumdojo.com, and that is also the same way to join this really special 7-day challenge. And again, just put that in the header, Quantum Abundance Challenge, 7-day challenge, whatever, just so that we know that's what you're signing up for, and then all the materials will be given to you. And it's really important that you open the materials every day, you do the steps every day, and that you commit to it. And one of the things I put before about discipline and focus, they're two really essential ingredients. It can't be a case of, oh, I can't be bothered to do this today, I'll do 2 days tomorrow. That's not gonna cut it. And the focus must mean that you need to give to yourself. So let's say you are super busy and you're thinking, gosh, I don't know how I'm going to fit this in. Then I would suggest to you that, where are you in your priorities for the day and the week? Are you nowhere in those priorities? Meaning, are you just a perpetual being of habitual expression? Meaning, do you just get up and do X, Y, and Z for your family, do X, Y, and Z for work, do whatever you need to do for your home, whatever it is that you're doing? Are you just a perpetual motion of habits? And if so, that's a clue to some of the things we're going to be looking at next week. So what I would say to you in this instance is we need to go, okay, well, I deserve some time. I'm going to mark in my calendar an hour or whatever it is, and I'm going to come to this practice. I'm going to do it in the morning, I'll do it in my lunch break, I'll do it in the evening, whatever you can fit in for you. But you're going to put it in your diary and you're going to make yourself a top priority. Because a little bit of a clue here, if you don't have the boundary, the discipline, the focus and the intent to do these things, none of these things will be created. It's as harsh and simple as that. Now, we're going to give you detailed things each day. So some of it will be quite educational in terms of we're just talking and sort of teaching around these areas. Some things will be more for you to go and think about, and then action, and some of it will be pure action steps. And how you do those action steps will be up to you. So for example, if there's something to watch and think about, you might want to think about it during the day and then come back to it at night time and write down if you need to write something down. So that will be up to you to figure out, but I will give you very specific instructions on how best to get the most out of it so that you can create an outcome you want, and we can collapse it down to bring it into you as quick as possible. So obviously if you follow all the steps, it will increase that probability in the field. So as I said, if you have any questions, please do get in touch with us at limitless@thequantumdojo.com. I'm really excited to bring this. It's not something that we've ever given people freely before. It's normally something that we do with our high level clients. It's not even in our basic programs, just because we have so much other stuff, there's not any room for it. So that's one of the reasons why we thought it'd be a good idea to completely isolate it out and focus on this, and then give it as a free gift to help as many people as possible. So really looking forward to seeing you. Really have a think about your perspective of abundance and what it is that you would desire and want to create. And don't forget to email us at limitless@thequantumdojo.com, and then we'll see you on Monday the 29th, and we'll get kickstarted then. All right, take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.